Well, a newly declassified court transcript suggests that CIA Director Gina Haspel ran a secret black site at Guantanamo Bay after the September 11th attacks. The claim comes from the lawyer for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. He's facing the death penalty for his role in orchestrating the 9/11 terror attacks. The attorney, who has top secret clearance with the U.S. government, unsuccessfully argued last November that Haspel's role at the secret agency outpost prevents the men accused of orchestrating the attacks from receiving a fair trial. That partially redacted transcript was released earlier this month. In the lead up to her confirmation as CIA director, it was reported that Gina Haspel ran a black site for the spy agency in Thailand after 9/11. And during her confirmation hearing, Haspel vowed that the CIA would not engage in torture under her leadership. Well, joining me now is Miami Herald military affairs reporter Carol Rosenberg. She has extensively covered Guantanamo Bay and first reported on this development. Carol, I want to say first off, I have just really enjoyed, you're one of the I would say probably the top person following Guantanamo Bay, and thank you for your coverage. I really follow it closely. I'm just curious, though, Carol, what sort of activities went on at the black site that Gina Haspel allegedly ran?
Well, the answer to that is we don't really know, because it was the secret prison within the secret prison at Guantanamo. What is intriguing about the black site at Guantanamo is that when the Bush administration realized that attorneys could be, that when they realized that the U.S. Supreme Court could be ruling shortly that they would be able to get attorneys and access to lawyers, the CIA picked up their prisoners and ran them out of there so that they could have no access to attorneys, and they wouldn't see lawyers for another 3 or so years until after they came back in military custody to be charged in these, to be prepared to be charged in these death penalty trials. What went on there, we don't know. Who was there? We know that one of the 9/11 alleged plotters was there, and we know that the man accused of masterminding the USS Cole attack was there. The lawyers who have the top secret clearances, they may know more about what went on there, but we don't yet.
Do we know, I mean, what have your sources said about the likelihood that CIA Director Haspel was in charge of this particular secret site?
So that's what's so intriguing here, in my opinion, is that Director Haspel has 30 episodes of temporary deployments during her clandestine career. She had 30 secret assignments. And the people I spoke to, first of all, I should explain that people in the CIA who know the answer to this for certain aren't allowed to say. So we went to the people who were either aware of or associated with the black site program to ask them if we thought that this newly declassified remark essentially was true. And they all thought it was possible. First of all, because of those 30 episodes, but also because Gina Haspel was and is, you know, a loyal member of the agency first. And so at a time when people in the agency were reluctant, and one of the people I spoke to in this article refused to go serve as the chief of base at Guantanamo, they believe had she been instructed to, she would have gone willingly. You know, Director Haspel has the ability to tell us more about her clandestine career, but she took the position during the Senate hearings, as you noted, that she wasn't going to expose anything about her background. Notably, she wouldn't take questions on when she ran the black site in Thailand, because she was holding herself to the same sort of secrecy standard that she was affording the men and women of the CIA. One issue is, and one of the arguments was, now that she's the public face of the agency, should she be at least owning up to what she did in these secret sites that have since been shut down?
Have you had a chance to speak to folks who are at the CIA that, and to get their sense of, because I think people forget that a lot of the intelligence, many people feel the intelligence that came from some of these black sites were coerced, that it didn't lead to big reveals in intelligence that led to some great big breakthrough, that sometimes it was the opposite. I'm curious what you've heard from people on the ground about these sites and how they feel today, years after these interrogations took place.
So also the intriguing part about that whole thing is what went on there is perceived as, of course, the lawyers call it torture, and the prosecutors in the 9/11 and USS Cole case acknowledged that it was coerced. So whatever they got from these prisoners during their waterboarding, post-waterboarding, sleep deprivation, short shackling, being held nude, whatever they got under those circumstances, whatever they got in the entirety during the CIA interrogation program is inadmissible at their trial. So that black site period is nothing that came out of that period is supposed to be used at the trial. What the defense attorneys say is that everything, or many things that came subsequently, was tainted by the original torture, and therefore it's making the trial evidence essentially suspect, dubious, and perhaps excludable.
So, Carol, ultimately, from your new reporting, what are the questions that are raised for you now that this story is public?
We still don't know. We know nearly nothing about those black sites at Guantanamo. We know that from the Senate intelligence report that there were 2 of them. I spoke to one FBI agent who said that it was led by a man. But, you know, during the early years of Guantanamo, when I was reporting down there virtually full time, the media was coming and going in batches of 20 and being shown show cells, men in orange jumpsuits, detainees. And we were told at the time, there's nothing to hide. We're showing you everything that's going on because, you know, they were proud of their operation, and they still are. But this chapter, the secret cells, the secret CIA black sites at Guantanamo, is yet to, you know, we've yet to really learn what went on there. And maybe at the trials we'll learn some more, but the fact that the CIA at this point will neither even respond, confirm, deny whether or not the director was down there, ran it, and what her role was there, if at all, suggests it's going to be a long time before we know what really went on in the black sites of Guantanamo.
Carol Rosenberg. Carol, thank you so much for reporting in such an important story.
Thank you.